It's good to know what you want, but how clearly and precisely do you really know what you actually want? Welcome to Reframes, the podcast where we invite you to take a different perspective on life. I'm Matthias Jakobsen, and I thought of this question because I was walking down Downing Street in West Village in New York on my way to work yesterday. And I walked by, and it's a nice little quiet street with townhouses and a few newer buildings. And I walked by this townhouse and I thought to myself, that would be wonderful. Imagine if we could just live in this nice, probably old townhouse renovated and redesigned by some modern architect. I'm standing in front of one right now. It looks incredible. That is something that I really want. That would be incredible. And at first I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I know I'm really a person who knows what I want, and I can articulate it so clearly, like 42 Downing Street. That's what I want. I know it precisely. But I think the issue is that, this is hardly a unique desire. Having a large, luxurious townhouse in a uber prime real estate location. I think if you ask virtually any other person who lives in New York, that's 8 million people, I think you would be hard pressed to find a few people that wouldn't want that if they could afford it. So I think if we're trying to understand what we want, I think there needs to be a little bit more than that, than just, feeling an impulse, feeling a desire for something, and then saying, okay, now I know what I want. I think a good criteria to add to the list is this question of, okay, well, how many other people that are similar to me would want that exact same thing? Again, not everybody wants to live in New York, so if you don't want to live in New York, maybe you don't want a townhouse in New York. But for all the people that want to live in New York, a townhouse in Downing Street is a pretty sweet deal. So if you identify something and you think, this is something that I want, is this something that most people want? And then you can, a method you can take is, write down these things as they come up, but then check them against this filter and see how many things do you know that you want that are things that less than half of other people would want. Then I think you're getting a little bit more precise, a little bit more directly in touch with what your own unique passions and desires are. So that's what I want you to take away from this. Don't stop with just the impulse or the urge, but check it against this filter. Is this something most other people would want? And then narrow down and see what stands out in the end. That's all. Thank you for listening to Reframes, the podcast where we invite you to take a different perspective on life. This podcast is produced in collaboration across the Atlantic with Nikki Schmikis. I'm Matthias Jakobsen. Have a lovely, lovely day.